So guys, welcome back to another video. In this one today, we're going to be trying out this brand new 90 rated Scream Pique card. And this item just looks awesome. It looks like a really good centre back for FIFA 20 Ultimate Team, and I'm looking forward to trying it out. Now this Scream item has been given a plus 16 upgrade on pace compared to the non-informed Pique, and a plus 11 upgrade on dribbling, so it'll definitely be interesting to see how this Pique item performs in matches, and I'm looking forward to trying it out. Also released today was a Scream Chong. If you want to see a review on him, make sure you drop a like on this video, and make sure you let me know in the comments if you want to see a video on him. But for today, we're obviously going to focus on Pique. We're going to complete the SBCs, we're then going to get this card in the club, and then we're going to try it out to see if it's worth picking up or not. According to Footbin, the current price of this Pique SBC is around 100k, which on face value looks amazing value. 100k for a 90 rated centre back with good pace, that seems like very good value on paper, so hopefully this card does perform pretty well in games. Anyway, before we continue, if you guys could leave a like rating on the video, that would be greatly appreciated. In the comment section down below, let me know your thoughts on this card, also its value. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, of course, and if you're in the market for a football app, check out OneFootball. There's a link to download it in the top of the description. Okay, without further ado, let's have a look at these SBCs. So you need a La Liga player, a Team of the Week player, and the squad needs to be an 84 overall for squad number 1. And for squad number 2, you need a Spanish player, an inform, and an 85 overall squad. Not too bad for a 90 rated player, to be honest. So I'm going to go complete these, and I'll be back with you guys in a second. Okay, so for the Spain squad, this is the team we will be submitting. This overall squad doesn't cost too much, it costs around 70k, which isn't that bad. Hummels and Santi Cazorla being the two expensive players in this squad. But apart from them two, I think most players are actually under 6k, which is obviously pretty cool. So happy to submit that, and for submitting that we get a rare Electrum players pack, which isn't an amazing pack, but yeah, it's better than nothing, I guess. 6 golds, 12 rares actually, I guess isn't too bad. This is the team we'll be submitting for the La Liga SBC. It cost me just under 40k. I think the most expensive player was obviously Nkalu. He was like 13k, but then the second most expensive was probably James Rodriguez, who is currently going for around 9k because he's so useful for the Pique SBC. Anyway, happy to submit that, and for that we get a premium gold players pack. So before we move on into the review, we've obviously got a Pique walkout to come. Here he is. I'm actually really looking forward to trying this card. It looks solid. Like, theoretically, this card should be awesome, and he should be a really good partner. But then, look, his stats look amazing. He's tall in game, so aerially he should be a monster. The only thing I'm a bit concerned about is his high medium work rate. But other than that, this card looks great. So hopefully, it'll perform well in match. So let's send him to the club. And now, let's go open these packs and maybe make some coins back from this SBC. Obviously, we only spent around 100k, so it's not the most expensive SBC, but still, it'd be nice to recoup some of them losses. So, in pack number 1, what do we get? We get absolutely nothing. No boards, no walkout, no nothing. I suppose we could hope for a Mendy, but we're not going to get it. We're going to get Angel Carrera, who, in my opinion, could and should have had an inform this week. I don't believe any of them players sell, so happy to discard them. In pack number 2, the rare Electrum players pack, can we at least get a board? Come on here. Come on, what we're going to get is going to be boards, which is cool. Not going to be a walkout. It's going to be someone from Chile. It's going to be Arangues. It's not going to be Arturo Vidal, sadly. So my packs weren't too great. I hope yours were a lot better than mine. In the comments, if you've done this SBC, let me know what you got in the packs. Okay, so now we have Pique in the club. This is the team we're going to be using him in. In-game, we're going to be playing in the 4-2-2 formation. To his left is going to be Longley, and to his right is going to be Sergi Roberto. So, let's have a look at this card, shall we? The guy stands at 6'4", so aerially, like I've already said, in-game, he should be an absolute monster. Sadly, he does have high medium work rates, so that obviously could affect him in-game. Hopefully, those work rates don't make him shoot out of position too much. In-game attribute-wise, the defending and physical columns look absolutely outstanding. This guy's got 89 strength and decent aggression of 77, so hopefully he battles well for the ball. His stamina of 71 isn't amazing, but it's also not terrible for a centre-back. Obviously, he doesn't have amazing jumping, but he is 6'4", so still aerially, I do expect him to win plenty of duels. Defensive stats, all amazing, all amazing. He's got 91 interceptions, 91 defensive awareness, 90 stand tackle, all absolutely fantastic. That full column is brilliant. The dribbling department's interesting because this guy's got a 98 rating for his reactions and 95 ball control and 99 composure. Now that's big because if you're trying to like clear your lines, that's pretty big to have a defender who's good in possession of the ball, so that's pretty cool. And also his passing stats are really good too. He's got 85 short passing and 83 long passing, so his distribution from the back should be pretty solid. Obviously, we need to comment on this pace column. His acceleration of 61 isn't the best, but he's got a really good sprint speed rating of 81. But we're going to use him with Shadow, so both of them stats are going to be boosted. Now, the reason I've used Shadow Chem is because most people just seem to put Shadow or Anchor on every defender this year, so that's why we're doing that. So, looking forward to trying out this Pique card, and it'll be interesting to see how him and Longley play. Now, Longley is one of the best centre-backs in the game, in my opinion, so it'll be interesting to see how Pique does in comparison. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into some games and let's see how this item does. Now, I'm not going to lie, the gameplay isn't going to be all that entertaining for this video because it's going to be a lot of defensive clips. So, you know what, feel free to skip through it to the summary if you wish. But for those of you who want to stick around for the gameplay, let's go. So for the debut of Scream Pique, this is what we're up against. We've got a good test for him. We're up against an icon in the form of Michael Owen, and this guy's also got an icon, Steven Gerrard, in centre mid. So pretty solid side for my opponent. Interesting to see the range of players he's got. He's got some like elite players, but also some pretty average ones. But nonetheless, let's get into this game and see how the Spanish centre back does. Rashford attempts to chip it through to Owen, but Pique is there to clear up the mess. My opponent is currently piling on the pressure, which I don't like at all. Can't get the ball right now. Owen tries to come inside, but Pique puts on a nice tackle on him. Good chance for my opponent as he comes forward again. Is he going to look for the through ball for Pique? He is. There's Pique on the edge of the box, but Pique too strong, and he knocks him off the ball. Oh, big clearance from Pique. That was a auto clearance as well. I didn't press anything. Uh-oh. Oh, nice tackle there from Pique. Just lined him up essentially. Chance for Rashford. We're just jockeying with Pique right now, and then we just take the ball off him. And there's the whistle for half-time. At the break, the score is 0-0. As you can see, my opponent's absolutely been dominating me, and I've just been having to defend essentially. Like, I've been under constant pressure for like the full first half, so I'm pretty happy that my defence has stood up to the task. What are the odds that we can get Pique on the end of this? Probably not great, but you know what? I'll try. Oh, imagine if he got his foot to it. So the game has just ended, and we actually won this game 3-0. In the first half, my opponent was all over me, but it was a game of two halves, and in the second half, we came on strong and got 3 goals. Pique was decent in this game, but if I'm being honest, I actually thought Longley was better. Nonetheless, Pique was pretty good, as you're about to see. Where is it? Tackles, 5 out of 5 for him in this game. His dribbles were decent too, and his passing wasn't too bad. It's worth noting that I was purposely attempting some over-the-top through balls with him from deep, so that's why his passing accuracy isn't too great, because I was forcing passes out of him. He also had a couple of shots on goal. One of them was a free kick, which I thought, you know what, I'm reviewing Pique, let's take a free kick with him. And then you realise he's got 44 free kick accuracy, and the free kick goes nowhere near the goal, so it was pointless in the end. Anyway, that's game number 1 done. Decent game for him, clean sheet as well, awesome. Let's move on into game number 2. Next up for Pique is a full Serie A squad, which features an ultimate scream Romagnoli. He's also got a pretty good attack, which features Mertens, Insigne, Alejandro Gomez, and Paulo Dybala. Opponent's coming forward now with Mertens, but Pique's there, and he just wrapped his long legs around Mertens and dispossessed him of the ball. I've got to say, one thing I was worried about with Pique was the fact that he might shoot out of line a lot. That hasn't been an issue thus far. Like, when Lenglet's come out of line to try and like jockey defend, and Pique has just sat, which I like. There's a chance for my opponent. He's got Mertens, but Pique and Sissoko team up nicely and take the ball off the Belgian. I know you're going to cut back. I know you're going to cut back. Ah, there we go. Pique, well read. Pique out of nowhere with the clearance. And also, might I add, that was an auto clearance. I actually didn't do anything there. I was controlling Longley. Oh, nice interception again by Pique. Just before half time. And at the break, we go in with a 1-goal lead. It's 2-1. But to be fair, it's been a pretty close game. As you can see, it's pretty much equal going into the second half. We've just gotten ourselves a penalty, and my opponent's picked up a red card, and I think that'll be the end of his game. Yeah, he just had enough, I guess. Pique, how was he in game number 2? Well, despite what the ratings say, I actually thought this was his better game out of the 2 matches. I thought he was better than Longley in this match, whereas in the first game, Longley got the lesser match rating, and I thought he was the better performer overall. Let's have a look at the stats. 2 out of 2 for tackles, passing and dribbling, all 100%. So, yeah, pretty good game 2 for Gerrard Pique. Up against Pique in the next game is this team. We've got a Player of the Month, Carlos Vela, an Ultimate Scream, Ibrahimovic, and an Ultimate Scream, Rafael Guerrero at left wing. Playing out from the back. Oh, put through a great through ball, and Aubameyang's going to get on the end of it, and that's my fault. I panic shot with Aubameyang there. I got a bit too excited. If I'd have took that down, I probably would have scored off that, and Pique would have got an assist. That's a massive mistake, though, from my opponent's centre-back, who shot out of line. Pique with a nice sliding challenge there on Carlos Vela to stop the counter-attack. Nice tackle there by Lenglet, and then Pique with his super long legs gets the pass away to Aubameyang. There's the half-time whistle. At the break, sadly, we're actually we're going in 2-1 down, and I'm a bit annoyed about it, to be honest, especially the second goal that I conceded, because I really feel like ter Stegen should have saved it. There's a chance for my opponent in the last minute, but Pique gets in there with a sliding challenge, and he's been sent off for it. There's the full-time whistle. Sadly, this game has ended in a draw, and unfortunately, the game ended with Pique getting a red card, which I thought was really harsh. That seems like a harsh red card to me. Let me know in the comments. Do you think that's a red card? Anyway, guys, that's game number 3 done. I am going to play 1 or 2 more games with this Pique card. I've got to get rid of that red card now as well. But that's enough gameplay for you guys. I know you guys aren't too overly thrilled about seeing constant defensive clips, so you're probably happy the gameplay's over. I'll see you in a second on the summary page. Okay, so after giving this Pique a few games in my club, what are my thoughts on this card? Pretty good, to be honest. A very solid centre-back item, and 100k for this card I really don't think is bad value at all. As you can imagine, this Ultimate Scream Pique is much better than the non-informed Pique, and that mainly comes from the massive pace boost he has been given. So let's break things down, shall we? How is this guy as a defender, just outright defending? Very good. His interceptions are great. He's got long legs, so when the ball's just coming past him, he's just going to stretch out and get to them. And when it comes to tackling, he's very good. He's strong too, so if he doesn't just dispossess someone of the ball, he'll knock them off it, which is pleasing. And despite the red card, that very dubious red card, I thought his slide tackling as a whole was very freaking good. Also, aerially, as you can imagine, he's decent. He's pretty tall at 6'4", and he does win a decent amount of aerial battles. I came up against Ultimate Scream Ibra twice in the 5 games I played, and Pique pretty much had him covered, which was pleasing. One thing I didn't like about this card too much was his ability to turn, because he felt pretty slow on the turn, so if a player got past him, he just couldn't recover. Whereas with players like Longley, I felt like they can recover when they're beaten on occasion. So that's probably one of the few cons that I have for this Pique item. I honestly didn't have any issues with his low balance, so that's something worth noting. It's really good that this Pique card has really good reaction stat, because he does react to situations pretty well. He's also a player that's pretty good to have on the ball, so if you want to play out the back, this card is good for that role. And I also thought his passing was decent too. Positionally, honestly, I had no issues with this card. Now, like I said at the start of the video, I was a bit worried about his high-medium work rates, and I was worried that this guy was going to shoot out of line a bit, but to be honest, he really didn't. His positioning for me was absolutely fine. Even when I shot out of line with Longley and did some jockey defending, Pique just stayed in his position and defended, so very happy with this item's positioning. Pace-wise, as you can imagine, also pretty happy with this guy. Obviously did have the shadow chem on him to help, but still in-game felt pretty quick and tracked back well on occasions. Now, I have to say, he definitely didn't feel as quick as Longley in-game, but this Pique card is obviously much quicker than the non-informed Pique, which is obviously very pleasing, and he's quicker than a lot of centre-backs in this game now, which is good. Saying that, it does take him a bit of time to get to his maximum speed, because he's got pretty low acceleration compared to his actual sprint speed stats, so that's something worth noting. So overall, very happy with this card, and like I've said already, the 100k price tag for him I think is very decent. with all that being said, do I think this Pique card is worth picking up? If you run with a La Liga side, then yeah, I do think this item's worth picking up. Do I think this Pique card is better than Longley? And the answer for that is no. I really don't think he is. I think Longley is better in game. He's just more mobile and he's just easier to defend with because of that. So if I had the choice between just one of them, Pique or Longley, I'm going with the Frenchman. But nonetheless, these two do work well as a duo. Anyway guys, those are my thoughts on the 90 rated Pique. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, drop a like rating on it. If you've got any questions about this card, pop them in the comment section down below. Thanks for watching, and as always, I'll catch you in the next one.